Welcome back. So now that we've finished talking a little bit about Sutra 1.1 and 1.2, I want to shift gears a little bit and move into the yamas and niyamas. And I don't want to tell you too much about the yamas and niyamas because I'm really interested in seeing how you sort of parse the meaning out of these yourself. So the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali are kind of complicated and the translations aren't super easy. So I think that might take a little bit more discussion and a little more of me telling you a little bit about what that stuff means. I mean, some of it's in Sanskrit, so it's confusing. But the yamas and niyamas, these are really an ethical practice that guide the way we live our lives. And the book that I assigned, I find to be very accessible. So I'm hoping that more than me telling you what this stuff means, you are able to start finding some sense of it within your own life. But that doesn't mean I'm just like going to throw you out to the wolves, right? I'll tell you a little bit about it, of course. So first, I mentioned this in our assignment, but the yamas and niyamas are ethical practices. And for me, the easiest way to think about this is the yamas are ways in which we treat others, and the niyamas are ways in which we treat ourselves. Other people define it differently, but for some reason, I can't always get my brain wrapped around the other ways of talking about it. So I like to think about yamas, others, niyamas, self. So starting off, the yamas and niyamas are the first two steps on the eight-limb path to yoga. So we talked a lot in the last video about atta, now. So you can even think about it as like now we practice the yamas and niyamas, step one, right? Yamas and niyamas. Now we're coming back to ahimsa. Now we're coming to satya. It doesn't necessarily have to be the way you're doing it, but because they are the first two steps, I would say that atta probably is a good place now, is a good place to be, is ahimsa and satya. So ahimsa, a lot of people say ahimsa. It's actually like an ng, ahimsa, ahimsa. So ahimsa is non-harming. They're non-violence. And so in the most basic sense, we think about this of not doing harmful deeds to others, which of course we don't want to do. This is actually why a lot of yogis are vegan and vegetarian, right? So they don't want to harm others in the effort to get food. But nonviolence means more than that. It actually spans the whole realm of not being violent with our bodies, not being violent with our words, not being violent with our thoughts. So it's really a practice, again, of nonviolence toward others, because the yamas are a practice, an ethical practice that we give to others. So being nonviolent toward other people is ahimsa. You'll hear people say sometimes that like doing good things for your body and for yourself, like, taking rest in a yoga practice when you need it, practicing non-harming, that's not quite right because that's for the self. Yamas are for other people. So when we're thinking about ahimsa, we're talking about being nonviolent with our bodies, our minds, our thoughts, and our words. So you might hear, especially if you were in my PED 101 class, you might hear the mantra Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, and this translates to, according to Jivamukti Yoga, Sharon Gannon and David Life, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. So that's sort of what ahimsa means. May the things I say, the things I do, the things I think bring more peace, happiness, and freedom to other people. Because it's not just about not hurting them, about being just a bystander and doing nothing. It also means doing good, right? Sometimes doing good means doing nothing too. So I don't want you to think you have to be like out doing good deeds all the day, right? But it does mean non-violence, non-harming, when appropriate, doing good for other people. And then moving into satya, this is truthfulness. So what's nice is these build upon each other. They're not isolated. So if you're already being kind in your thoughts, words, and your actions, you're probably also being truthful. I hope. Right? So this is speaking your truth, not in the sense of like, I feel something, so I have to say it, but it's living in an honest, truthful sort of way. Not lying, not even white lies. Which can be a little tricky, right? White lies are easy, like, oh, sorry, I'm late for the meeting because I got stuck in traffic, which, was waiting for my nails to dry, actually. right? Or something like that. So it's being honest with yourself so that you can be honest with others. And sort of like ahimsa, it doesn't just mean like you have to be super nice all the time, right? We're not trying to create people that are being nice just for the sake of, what they think is the right thing to do. I mean, again, we always want to be nice, but sometimes saying the truth also can be hard, right? It means that we have to break up with that boyfriend or girlfriend that's not really serving us, or we have to quit the job, even though it might let someone else down. So it's being truthful with whatever is at hand. So again, I don't want you to think that Ahimsa and Satya are just like peace, love, and light. I can never say anything negative, or anything like that. It's not so much about that. It's being kind and truthful in the effort to truly create peace in the long run. That's tricky and that's heavy, right? That means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So again, I don't really want to say too much about this. I want you to see how this works out in your own life and your own thoughts. So I do have an assignment built for you about videoing yourself, because unfortunately, I like video, and also it's very easy for us to hide behind the computer screen, but when I'm going to watch these videos, it's like you're talking to me. So I do want you to be non-harming, and I also want you to be truthful in your video assignment, and you can read the rest of the details on the assignment sheet, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye, yogis.